So let's talk about the benefits of cross shooting, right? So we talked about the challenges, but what are the benefits?
Well, I think it's like you have these electric performances. I mean, Gene Smart's incredible, and Hannah Einbinder, she comes from an improv comedy stand-up sort of background, and it's the first time seeing the two of them together in this scene, and it's sort of rapid fire back and forth, and you're going to be able to capture that and get both sides simultaneously. I think that really does justice to the performances and to the script, that style of shooting. I mean, it's wonderful.
And as far as, the camera and the lighting, are there any benefits to you as a cinematographer, as a director of photography for these cross-shot scenes?
Yeah, I think that you're first and foremost, the goal is to sort of help the director to tell the story and to capture the performance. And I think that we're by using our cameras in this way, we're helping her to do that. And then I don't know. I think maybe there are some there's some other benefits to it that just are sort of side effects of the process. So it's like we were able to light it in the way that we want, but perhaps it's like maybe just slightly more naturalistic than it would have been otherwise. Like maybe it's like 10% rougher than it would have been if we could have just massaged one angle at a time. And maybe there's some benefits to that were sort of unexpected, and there's some happy accidents there. I don't know. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, because I think there's got to be something to the pace of it from, just how many shots you can get done in a day, and just blowing through a scene. There's got to be like some feeling of momentum on set when you're cross shooting and you're blowing through pages quick. It's good. And knowing like, now that I've had this performance, you're not like thinking about the second angle of the same scene. You're just kind of letting it happen organically. I'm wondering, does it contribute to a momentum or a vibe on set when you're cross-shotting? Just knowing that you're getting through things double the speed.
I don't know if it's getting through things double the speed. I don't know if that, but I think it is. I think our Lucia and our AD team did like a great job of prioritizing scenes that we knew were going to be super important. So it was a tight television schedule. On top of that, the show from beginning to end was made during the pandemic. So we had reduced time as it was.
This whole thing during the pandemic?
And not just shot it, but they wrote it on Zoom during the pandemic, and they edited it, reviewed cuts on iPads. Yeah. So it was an entire pandemic production. So we were squeezed from a schedule perspective, but, we really prioritized this scene. So it wasn't that we had enough time to do this. I think maybe a day or 2 days were allocated just to this one conversation, because we all knew how critical it was, to the story and to the end of the pilot. And it's a scene that we all love. So we wanted to make sure that we had enough time to execute it. So the choice to cross shoot wasn't a logistical one. It was purely a performance one. That said, I think, on set, when you're looking at A and B monitors and it's Gene Smart and Hannah, and they're going back and forth, and you can basically, watch the scene as it unfolds, and you can see how great it is. I mean, that's fun for everyone.
That's going to be so great for comedy too, just to let the performers do their thing. It's all about timing. I mean, everything's about timing, but comedy in particular seems like it's so much about the timing that not having to disrupt it and not having to do other takes from different angles, I feel like there'd be a freedom in that.
Yeah, I mean, there were other scenes later in the season that weren't necessarily comedic, that were dramatic, for these two characters. There's a scene, I think it's in maybe episode 9, where the two of them are having kind of a blow up in front of Deborah's vanity, and that was another scene Lucia pinned right away as we've got to cross shoot this one for performance. And once again, she was totally right, and that one was equally a challenge. We've shot so many scenes in this dressing room that were filmic and weren't shot in this manner. How do we seamlessly blend this one in? It's one of our most important scenes. You don't want to have it, you don't want to make a visual sacrifice on it. And it was a similar approach, like a team effort to find a way to stage it around some lighting that John Carlos was able to build into the sets so that we could see the key light physically, and still have it in the right position and have it match the emotion of the scene, but also the other scenes that we'd shot. So yeah, I think cross shooting, it's not just a comedy thing. I think it's true. It works great for comedy, but it also is a wonderful way to capture performance.
I think the lesson here, and you've said it twice now, is let your key light be visible. It seems like that, in the case of the scene we talked about first is the big windows. I think that makes sense. It's like if you can let your audience understand where the light is coming from, it feels a little bit more natural. I think that seems to be the lesson learned here.
Totally. And then I think it's thinking about, like, for me, it was thinking about, like, okay, well, if I wasn't cross shooting this, where would I put the key to light this scene? Okay, I would see that position in another camera. How can I put something in there practically with John Carlos in that ideal key position that can work to illuminate them? So I think that, you nailed it.